Hello, eighth grade families. I'm Jeremiah Winsick, the school counseling director here at Glenbard West High School. In a minute, I'll speak to you about having a healthy overall transition to Glenbard West. But first, I want to make sure you've all received the class of 2025 enrollment packet email we sent last week on Thursday, January 7th at about 1:30 p.m. Within that email is all the information you need to pick classes for next year and the documents required to register for high school. If you haven't seen this email yet, make sure you check for an email from me with the subject, Glenbard West, 8th grade enrollment, important information. If you can't find it in your inbox, make sure you check your spam folder. If you're still having trouble, you can contact one of our great school counseling administrative assistants listed below this presentation. I've also included the letter below for your reference. I know this year has been a weird one for all of us, and we're all learning new ways to do new things together. Now, regarding the transition to high school, most of you have done your research and know a rigorous, high-quality education will be received by your students throughout their 4 years at Glenbard West. So, while I will be discussing academics, it will be with a focus on more of a social-emotional component in transitioning to high school. I know many of you are nervous about your 8th grader becoming a high schooler. No, really, I know. Now more than ever before, I can empathize with these feelings because I have a rising freshman of my own. How did this happen already? This year, I can't get the visual I usually get with the hands raised of how many of you are a first-time high school parent, but I'm going to guess it's a considerable amount, like it is every year. At West, we understand a healthy social and emotional transition to high school is the most important aspect. Throughout this family night and over the next few months, leading into the next 4 years, please try to focus on the present and enjoy the process because it goes really fast. You'll blink and suddenly the child out there with you, next to you, is a young adult, and we at Glenbard West have the privilege to prepare your young adult for their transition into adult independence in college. Now, whether this is your first child in high school or your fifth, we know each child has unique needs, even siblings from the same family. And even though we've successfully transitioned thousands of students into Hilltoppers over the years, just like your own children, we realize that no two students are going to be exactly the same. Regarding the course recommendations you've hopefully already received, I think it's important to reassure you that no student is stuck with a specific recommendation. As the word implies, it is just that, a recommendation. Our department chair's subject experts made these recs looking at a profile of your child in consultation with their current teachers. Ultimately, it is you and your child who know their individual strengths and needs better than anyone. But please keep in mind that while our department chairs and your teachers are looking at your ability to be successful in one subject at a time, it is up to the family, along with your school counselor, to look at the rigor of the schedule holistically. You won't be taking only one class. You'll be taking 4 core classes and potentially a world language, a music, and other graduation requirements. To use an analogy, we need to see the tree in the forest. This year, our freshmen received nearly 60 level changes from honors down to regular college prep classes. This is a strong example of students overextending themselves, sending them into the panic zone. We need to work together to make sure the metaphorical tree has enough sunshine and water and flourishes with vibrant leaves that your child or young adult is involved, successful, and happy. If it's a matter of concern that students are being challenged, just know that all ninth graders are challenged daily, no matter the classes they're taking. They're challenged in trying to learn how to use an iPad for reading books, taking notes, and turning in assignments without giving into the distractions associated with them. They're challenged in improving their executive functioning skills needed at the high school level. They're challenged figuring out their friend groups and meeting new people in these strange times more than ever. They're challenged to get involved in school, and they're challenged trying to figure out how to navigate our Hogwarts castle hallways, especially this year, only being physically in the building for maybe about 3 weeks. While I thought it was important to cover some of the most frequently asked questions of school counselors, I realized It's really just one big question. How many honors classes should my child take? As I mentioned earlier, there's really no clear-cut answer to this question, as each student is so unique. In addition to the advice sent home from school counselors, here are some suggestions. If you're recommended for all honors classes and are asking about whether or not to take honors in a certain subject, then don't. Take the regular college prep classes in areas you don't have as strong an interest. There's still college prep classes. Pursue the most challenging courses that you can handle in your favorite subject that you're most passionate about. If you aren't recommended for an honors class, maybe try one in your strongest area. Most importantly, prioritize total balance. It's all about balance. Make sure your child is able to live a healthy and happy life. Take into consideration the challenges I mentioned earlier, in addition to other commitments like clubs, sports, volunteering, and helping out at home. As Dr. Monahan mentioned earlier, self-advocacy or empowerment are one of the most important skills we try to instill in all students. The confidence to independently reach out to teachers, counselors, support staff, or administrators if there is something they need to be successful as a student in high school. To help with this, parents, we ask that you please let your student make some of the decisions. Please help us empower them to become great self-advocates. They may not be 100% correct, but it is okay to experience some adversity and develop some grit. We're here to support them along the way. While nobody is perfect, one thing is certain: we all care about your children, and we all will do anything we can to support, guide, and empower them for success in high school and beyond. Lastly, this family night is not intended to finalize any course selections. It's meant for your student to take the opportunity to research all the different options available, making sure that when they do make final decisions, they're as well educated as possible by taking advantage of the presentations available from our previously mentioned educational experts. Submit some questions. Learn what you can. Be as informed as possible. Throughout the years, we've learned many of you have already been talking to each other and to others who have had children pass their West, and that's all right. Like our children, we all learn in our own way. I just encourage you to accept this open invitation to research whatever it is you may have heard. Through the presentations, we are here for you. After tonight, the next step will be attending your appointment with your enrollment counselor on either this upcoming Saturday, January 16th, or Wednesday, the 20th, where you will review and finalize your child's choices for freshman year. If you haven't made an appointment yet, make sure you find the previously mentioned email with step-by-step instructions to do so. Also, it doesn't matter if you talk to us on the 16th or the 20th, as we always wait until all courses are selected by all students before determining which courses will run next year. Like everything else at West, our schedule of courses is always based on the students' needs. After course selection meetings, and in a couple of weeks, make sure to continue to take advantage of other opportunities available for you by continuing to monitor our website and other social media platforms Dr. Monahan named earlier for the most current updates and information. Thank you for watching, and your school counselors look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.